Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, it's basically a channel where I buy things that I shouldn't really buy, that are terrible, but we get to learn a few things along the way. And today I am going to look at something that is shocking. It is probably one of the worst Porsche Boxsters I've ever seen. Someone's tried to turn it into like a Spyder replica crossed with like a Carrera Gt. I think it's been sitting in a field with no windscreen on it for a good number of years. So it's probably going to be absolutely awful. I'm going to go up there now. Got the trailer hitched up to the van. Going to go up there and pick it up, and I'll see you there. Ready? Yeah, done. Now you've got a load there. Alright, managed to get this thing in the workshop. It fits in here pretty well. The workshop needs a massive clean. Fits in here a lot better than the Jag did. So this is not good, this car. It is it's pretty rough. From a quick glance, this does look, I mean, I'm talking a very, very quick glance. You need to sort of spin your head as quickly as you can. This does look a little bit like about a 2010 Boxster Spyder from this angle. But as you look a bit closer, you can see some absolutely awful gapping between these. So he's cut this out, this panel, and placed it over this. And to be fair, it's in a pretty good place. I mean, I knocked this bumper off. I don't know if you saw when I was getting off the trailer. So in fairness, matching up this side to this side, they're pretty well placed. But what they need to really do is, I think he's tried to start here, because these welds are pretty terrible. You need to cut basically the whole thing out, and then do a seam, and then there's just a screw holding it on here. There's a massive gap there that will need sorting out probably. This side skirt has just been put on here. It's obviously too long. Anyway, we'll get to that bit in a minute. The headlight, I've got one headlight for this side. I haven't sifted through the parts. I think hopefully there's another one, because they're probably the most expensive parts of this car. So this one, well, hasn't been welded in. This is where the old wing would have stopped, and the fried egg sort of headlight would have come round. Basically on that side, he's filled in all these gaps, but he's only filled it up to here. So I don't know if he was planning on leaving this big gap around the front. This is the least of the problems with this car. This one, it's just been screwed in with some self-tappers. This car has no windscreen in it, and I did find the number plates for it, and I checked them, and apparently it hasn't been on the road since 2012. So that's 12, 13 years that this thing possibly has been sitting outside with no windscreen on. Also, the roof is completely torn to shreds. It does come with a new roof. The engine is in there, and that's been open to the elements for who knows how long. This interior is just possibly the worst I've ever seen on any car. We'll try and see if we can clear it up. So we'll get round to another bad bit of the car. Along this side, I think this is a side skirt for a Boxster Spyder. So this comes out in the corner here. Try to replicate this scoop sort of with the door. To be fair, it hasn't done an awful job with the shaping. It's just, again, the welding, it's just very questionable. I see where he's coming from with this, and it does actually look kind of cool. I get the idea. It would have looked quite cool. You've also got the big bubble scoop top that's supposed to cover this whole back area. All of that's in the van. I'll just go get the bits out in a minute. We'll stack them all up and see what's in there. As for the back end, I think this is also the Boxster Spyder bumper, with also the later rear lights by the looks of things. This looks pretty good. This is almost fits up perfectly. That's not a standard looking Boxster exhaust either, so either he's fitted that as well. No original boot lid, unfortunately. It's a bit of a mess. My main thing is, if this thing can run, then I think it'll be worth it. I'll tell you guys what I paid for it at the end of the video. It's I've paid too much, basically. But yeah, I get all the parts out because I've got another roof in there and everything, and I don't know what condition they're in. I've got another seat. I've got one seat over there. I've got another seat in the van. So yeah, let's get all the parts out and see what we're dealing with. Alright, so that's basically all the bits that came with the car. I've got 4 door cards, a set of black ones and a set of red ones. I assume everything red was the original interior for this car. There's a black carpet, because the carpet in there at the moment is red. So there's black carpet, there's more black carpet pieces and some more black carpet pieces. We've got a rear light. I think there's another rear light in that box as well. The original rear light, and I think I've got another one of the later ones. Let me just see if that's the right one. I think it is. That's the one that goes in there, maybe. Yeah. So that's that light. Got a pair of those. I've only got one of these lights, which I think are from a Cayman. So if anyone's got one of those, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Don't even know if it's worth that yet, but if anyone's got one, I'll be interested. I've got the original fried egg headlights. They probably worth a bit of money as a pair. I'd sell them. The other seat, the passenger seat, or the driver's seat. That could actually be, I think that's the driver's seat. The other one might be the passenger seat. Some more paneling. We've got the center console bit here, which I think, again, someone's painted areas of it black. They're obviously wanting to get a black interior for this car. Probably some bits missing off of that. Got a roof in here, which I'm assuming if someone wrapped it up that much, then it's in okay condition. We'll get that out in a bit and see what that's like. But yeah, I've got to find space for all of this stuff. Oh, and the main thing I forgot to completely glossed over, is this double humped back, which someone's put some hinges on, which I assume is supposed to go here. We'll get everything loosely fitted in its right place, like this light, and see what this car was supposed to look like. Alright, with that horrible old roof off, that gives us a lot more access to the engine and things like that. It was really getting on my nerves at how tatty and ripped it is. It's got dark now, unfortunately. I just need to get all these bits in. Let me see if this fits now, and we'll get a slight vision of what this car was supposed to look like. Alright, so I've had this interior sort of drying out for a few hours. I don't want to leave the heater on whilst I'm not here, because as you can see from the condition of it, it's I've had to replace this once because it almost caught fire. So I've had it drying out. I think the only thing I can do now is to put a battery on this and see if anything comes to life. I know it's all probably so wet inside this absolute disgusting dashboard, but I've got to see whether anything works in here. I know Porsche connections are usually quite good, but I mean, some of these look pretty corroded. There's a computer down in that footwell. God knows if that's ever going to work. I don't know what that computer's for, whether it's an important one. Probably is. Yeah. Batteries under the bonnet. I actually haven't even looked under there yet, so let's see what's under there. Alright, it looks like we've got all the front bumper pieces, front grille, little side grills. It also stinks of rodents in here. Let's pull this out. Oh yeah, look at that. There has been some serious mice in here. I don't know what they've been eating, but something black and rubber by the looks of things. There's the other door handle. At least I've got two of those. There's a spare wheel. Maybe they've been eating that. That's all gone from the side there. Yes. But, looks okay. I mean, there's the battery. Obviously, it's got no power in it because I've had the keys in it to turn the steering lock off. Nothing came on. So, let's hook up some power to that and see if that works. And if not, we'll chuck a new battery in it. Probably should just chuck a new one in anyway. Let's just hook up the jumper and see if it comes on. Alright, lights come on. That's promising. Alright, we've got some lights on here. Miles per hour. What's the mileage? 119. Woo! That's pretty high. There's a thing over there with a light on it. Here are the keys. They look about as gross as you'd expect. Let's see if anything comes to life. All looking positive so far. Alright. Oh my god. I know which one do you reckon it is? This one looks pretty worn. Let's go with that one. See if anything comes to life. Oh my god, I hear pumps. Something's pumping. Oh, the wipers are going. Well, the wipers work. How the hell do I turn those off? Alright, we've got check engine. Everything seems to be working. There's a couple weird noises coming from down there. It does have some fuel in it. Anyway, let's check the oil. That did just tell me my oil level, and it said it's full. Or is it empty? Oh no, yeah. It's full apparently. Let's there is a dipstick. I'm just going to check that dipstick just to be sure. Right, here's the dipstick. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's the longest dipstick I've ever seen. Looks like we've got oil. Let me just give it a sniff. Oh my god. Alright. This oil stinks of fuel. Absolutely stinks of it. Oh, it absolutely tastes of it too. That is just pure fuel. I mean, someone's probably been trying to start this car and they haven't had much luck. Do you reckon we should turn it over? Alright, it's the moment of truth. I'm going to try turning the key and see what happens. I'm surprised any of this is coming to life, to be honest with you. You ready? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
A few moments later.
Alright, so I've got a new battery on the car. Things should be a bit better now. It was all pulsing with the jump pack for some reason. See what happens. This door is going nuts for some reason. Ooh, it does turn over really slow. That door is going mad. Well, it's not seized, which is amazing, to be honest. It's really struggling. There's a bad connection somewhere. Right, I can't believe this thing is running. It is smoking so bad out of the exhaust, and it stinks of oil. So either the balls completely gone in this, the piston rings are completely gone. It's running really rough as well. What I want to do is fill it up with some fresh fuel, because I should have done that right at the beginning and I didn't. It hasn't got much on the gauge, it's only got a tiny bit in the tank, so do an oil change on it, see if it's still smoking. Also, I just can't believe any of this is working. Let me turn that off for a second. I turned this on, this radio came to life. Oh, it's got a CD in it. I didn't see that. What is it? Sister Sledge. See if that works. That CD drive can't possibly work, can it? Surely not. The speakers are in it. Oh my god. I better turn that off before I get copyrighted. That sounds amazing. That actually sounds incredible. How are these speakers still working? Look at them. They've been out in the open for God knows how long. That radio actually sounds really good. I didn't see if there were any warning lights on the dash when I turned it on. See if it starts. Oh, it's a lot less smoky now. I wonder why that is. Bit of a tick coming from the engine. I wonder why that stopped smoking. On the dash we've got battery light on, so it's not charging, and spoiler light, I don't know what that means. It's actually running quite smoothly. That almost has completely cleared up, that smoke. I mean, it is smoking a little bit. It's a lot whiter than it was. Before it was like completely blue and it stank of oil. That is white and it smells a lot more like fuel. Very, very interesting. Now, I think fresh fuel, oil change, see if this thing drives. Alright, we've got the Porsche on the lift, high enough to get to the oil filter and the drain plug. I think this is the first time I've actually looked underneath this car, so fingers crossed everything's okay. So, bushes look okay, drive shafts, CV joints look okay, pretty good. Exhaust looks alright, the fittings look like they've gone a bit rusty. Let's get to the engine. I don't know what this strap is here. This must be some kind of earth strap, is it? That looks a bit rusty. What's that? Is that a stick? Yeah, it's just a stick. Alright. Here's the engine. Here's the oil filter by the looks of things. It doesn't look awful. I can't see any major leaks. There's a little bit of one up there by the looks of things. Maybe one over there, slight, then one by this gearbox maybe, but nothing big that I can see. The rest of the car has got the under tray all on it. It looks in fairly good condition, to be honest. Can't really from here see any problems. Let's deal with the oil situation and check it when it comes out. Let's make sure we double check. Let's make sure that it hasn't got any metal particles in it either, because that's a telltale sign that something's gone wrong. Alright, I've got the old oil filter here on the bench, and from what I can see, I can't see anything shiny. It does look obviously very shiny because the sun's shining in it, but I can't see any glitter or anything sort of metallic in it at all. which looks really good. Just looks like dirty, smelly old oil, which is the reason we're changing it. So how does that? Alright, I've got fresh oil, fresh fuel in the car. Let's see if this is any different. See what the oil level says on here. See, I put too much oil in it by the looks of things. It's full to the brim. Oh well, let's see what happens. Still a little bit smoky. It's also a little bit ticky. Let's let it warm up a bit and see if it gets any better. Alright, I've had this running for about 10 minutes now. I have topped the coolant up because I think it was low. Smoking still a little bit, but way less. And the ticking noise is completely gone. This thing sounds amazing. Let me just rev it up for you. It is still smoking a little bit, but every time I rev it, it clears up a little bit more. I think this is almost ready for a test drive. Let me just see if it goes in gear. The wheels are off the ground, so in theory, push the clutch down. First gear. Now if I let my foot off the clutch, gearbox seems to work. That's first gear. Alright, let's take that out. What about brakes? Do I have brakes? Yeah, brake pedal feels hard. We've blown a leak. We've blown a leak. Turn it off. Turn it off. Alright. Something. I think the thermostat must have opened or something. Alright, I can't believe this. This thing runs and it looks like it will drive. Unfortunately, we blew that radiator, so I'm going to have to order one of those. I never actually said what this car was. Obviously, it's a Boxster, but unfortunately, it's not the S. So it's not the 3.2. I think it's the smaller engine one. But its engine sounds healthy. It is smoking, obviously, a little bit. But that is clearing up. Unfortunately, I can't keep it running because of the radiator issue. But the ticking completely went after a few revs, which means that must have just been a hydraulic lifter or something. But yeah, sounds really healthy. I can't wait to take this thing for a drive. Also, you're all probably wondering how much I paid for this car. I paid £700 for this car. I think it was probably a bit too much in the condition it's in, but now I know it's running and it's possibly able to drive. It's sort of a fair deal, but let me know what you think I should do with it, because I would love to get it back on the road and keep it really dirty and grimy and have like a rat looking modern Porsche, because you don't really see things like that, and I think it would be really popular at shows and things. or I just break it for parts and sell it as a project to someone else. I really like it. I would love to get it back on the road. Also, in the next video, I'm going to take this thing out of here for its first drive. We're not going to go far. I'm only going to go up the road and back. I mean, not the main road. I think it should drive. We put it in gear and it looks like it should go. If you want to see this thing running and driving, and you also want to see this interior get cleaned, I can't wait to clean this interior. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, and thank you very much for watching.